Hello everybody, Braven Knight here, and welcome back to How to Build. This is a series where I take you through all of my created For Honor characters and teach you how to make them yourself for your own characters. That's right guys, and today we are taking a look at the long requested Nibbles, my shaman character. It's actually really funny guys, I made Nibbles a long time ago, but I just could not figure out how I wanted her story to go, and after a very long time, I finally finished her story, and people seem to like it. I think that it went over pretty well. You let me know in the comments if you agree with that assessment. But today I'm going to teach you guys how to build her so that you can make Nibbles yourself for the game. All right, let's get right into it. For starters, you're going to want the Halfred helm, the Regan chest, and the Apex arms. Let's go through that again. Halfred helm, Regan chest, and Apex arms. Now, initially when I was designing Nibbles, I wanted her to have a more clean face, because if you look at a lot of the others, they have a lot of paint patterns or tattoos like this, which is fine and all, but I wanted something that was a little bit more easy to believe, because Nibbles' whole story is she's wild. You know, she didn't grow up around people, she grew up by herself in the forest, and because of that, she probably wouldn't be able to get tattoos or understand the necessity of makeup or face paint. So I thought that just her having like maybe these two lines along her face that she made with her fingers, that's probably the extent of what she needed to do. So I thought that this would work really well. Plus, I really like the way this hair looks. It doesn't look shaved along the sides, but it looks braided just right and tied back. And you could argue that maybe the braids were done by her Alfheim friend. So maybe someone did her hair for her. So I think that would be an interesting connection. You could even make the idea that maybe after she learned of her true identity, she tried to associate with humans, and that's who did her hair for her. So either way, really like that. Okay, now Regan chest and Apex arms. Okay, now for the weapon. Draconic Knots hatchet, Draconic Knots handle, Draconic Knots dagger. Pretty simple. Now, this is all assuming that she's gone through her story at this point, like she's grown up, she's gone through everything, she is now a grown woman, and she has been interacting with humans at least to some degree, so that means that she now probably has better weapons and dagger than she had before. But that is the idea that I came up with for her weapons. All right. Now, let's talk about the rest. For traits, default 1, obviously, and for skin color, I just go with the default. No need to go anywhere else. Default is fine. All right. For her back, I went with the Circle of Waves paint pattern, which we get it from an outfit at Reputation 20. No symbol, but for the embossing, go Runic Compass. Runic Compass, which you get at Reputation 24, level 20. So again, Circle of Waves, Runic Compass. All right. For the ornament, I went with Deceitful Dragon. You get this from the Tree of Life Elite outfit. The Deceitful Dragon. I like this one because it's just a bunch of little bird feathers that she has put together with a little crown that she put on her forehead. I think that looks really cute, and it reminds us of the fact that she is, in fact, a princess. She is, in fact, a woman who is meant for royalty, and yet is too wild for it. So it is kind of like a nod to her royalty, but still just wild. So I thought that Deceitful Dragon worked really well. For her right shoulder, Dreams 2. You want the Dreams 2 paint pattern, okay? You get that from the Nocturnal Raptor Elite outfit. No symbol, but get the Celtic Waves, or Celtic Weave 2, which is Reputation 22, level 20. You want that for your embossing. For the left shoulder, you want the Knotted Spiral paint pattern, which you get at outfit Reputation 26, Knotted Spiral, Reputation 26. And then for the symbol, Eye of Caden, the Eye of Caden, which you get from the arcade quest during the Shadows of the Hitakiri event. If you do not have this, if you were not able to participate for the Shadows of the Hitakiri event, don't worry, there is one other alternative you can go with. You can go with this one, the Storm of Flames 2, which you get from the Raining Inferno bundle. And if you don't have that, well, then in that case, what I would honestly recommend is just go without a paint pattern, or you can go with this one, the Wing, which you get from the Forge Mythic outfit. So there are a few options, but that would be what I recommend, okay? For material, black. Pretty simple, you want the black material. And I'll be honest, it doesn't affect a whole lot, whatever you choose. But honestly, black is going to be the best one that you want to get here. It helps it outline the rest of the color pretty well, so go with black. For chest, the Vertical Line paint pattern, which you get at Reputation 16, level 8. Pretty easy to get. No symbol, no embossing, just that paint pattern, okay? For the standard, You want the Visions of Kaidan, which you get from the Hitakiri bundle. And you can, and now I use my emblem, but you can use whatever you want there, or you can just go with nothing at all. That is totally fine. Now, if you don't have Visions of Kaidan, there is an alternative that you can do. You can do the Apotropaic spell 2, which comes from the Monsters of the Otherworld. You can go Gaule's Breath 1, whichever. The real key you want is you want flowing energy. You want it to look like there's flowing energy around the tapestry. That's what you kind of want it to look like. So as long as it looks like that, you should be good to go. I would also recommend, where was it? There was another really good one. Here it is. I would recommend the Root Circle, which it comes from the Tree of Life Elite outfit, so that one would work really well as well. And if you have the ornament, you'll already have this paint pattern. So excellent. All right. Now finally for the colors. The color scheme is Crimson Tempest. You use Crimson Tempest 2 from the Year 5, Season 3 Battle Pass. You want this crimson kind of bloody look. I think it fits her very, very well. But the nice thing about this this outfit that we're going with, any paint pattern could work. So if you really didn't like that or you don't have that set, you could probably switch it up with just about any others. Like, for example, the Transit Umbra is not a bad one. I think it looks good on her. Assassin's Creed Father of Understanding looks good on her. The Sickly looks good. I would also say Ebbing Passion is a good alternative if you have her at Reputation 6. So any of those would work fine, but I use Crimson Tempest too. Okay? All right. Now, for feats. Stealth is the first feat I use because she is stealthy. She's been living in the woods all this time. She knows how to use it to her advantage. Flesh Wound, gain moderate damage reduction every 3 seconds. She is someone who is very, very good at taking punishment and moving forward because she's learned how to endure. I used Hand Axe because not only is it a good feat for Shaman in general, but I just think that it fits her like someone who's just going to throw something at the enemy. But I would also use Fury if you'd rather use Fury because she can get angry. And I use Fire Flask because it's really good, or Scout. Fire Flask or Scout. Not to diss Nail Bomb. Nail Bomb is completely OP, but in terms of her personality, Fire Flask or Scout would work best. Okay? For her executions, You Better Run, Deadly Hair, because she has her little animal friend. You know, she lived in the woods. She has a little animal friend. Bloody Appetite. And really get in there. All right, so some of these I had a specific reason. Now, you can replace really get in there with seen and done roll, which I think works fine too. But the reason I use some of these, like for example, You Better Run, if I'm being 100% honest, I got that from a song that I was listening to while playing as her, and I just thought it fit pretty well. So the song called Run Devil Run by Girls' Generation, I was listening to that while I was playing her, and I was like, okay, that fits a little too well. So I went with that. Deadly Hair, again, she has her animal friend that's going to help her out. She is a wild child. Bloody Appetite is just my personal favorite Shaman execution, so I went with that. And Really Get In There, I feel like fits her because in her story, this is kind of what she did to her own father. Just really just beat him to death, you know? So I thought that would work. All right, for emotes, Face Painter, and Missing the Mark. Missing the Mark is just kind of funny, and I thought it would go along with her kind of not being too coordinated with herself or with these new weapons of hers. Face Painter, I think, works because it goes back to that wildness, that wild insanity. For combat, I didn't really give her any. I go with At Your Service and Ground Pound. If you really want one, maybe you could go with Trick Shot or the Dead Man. I think those would work well. But otherwise, I didn't really put a lot of thought into the combat ones because I wasn't going to put steel into ones that I don't really care for. For signature, Ecstatic is fine. Ecstatic is fine. It gives kind of a comedic idea to her, and since her name is Nibbles, I thought, you know, you got to go with something that's a little silly, so I thought Ecstatic worked well. For effects, nothing. I don't use effects on her. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you build Nibbles. What do you guys think? Do you like it? What did you think of her story? Did you enjoy it? Let me know down in the comment section what you guys enjoy about the story and whether or not you like the way I built Nibbles here. Let me know if you're going to build Nibbles yourself. And that's all I got for you. So thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.